The big evil Disney Corporation is pulling ABC's Jimmy Kimmel Live off of the air indefinitely, they say, over his obscene comments on Charlie Kirk's assassination. President Donald Trump, President of the United States, is calling this great news for America. President Trump writing on social media, "Congratulations to ABC for finally having the courage to do what had to be done. Kimmel has zero talent and worse ratings than even Colbert, if that's possible." President Trump today in Great Britain, he's in England with the king and all that, further commenting on Jimmy Kimmel's suspension.
Jimmy Kimmel was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as Charlie Kirk. And Jimmy Kimmel is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago. So, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent.
Fired for lack of talent, Mercy, and low ratings.
And it goes beyond that. I mean, when you look at the comments that Jimmy Kimmel did, and then they did the mocking of Donald Trump following these comments that he asked about, how do you feel following, Charlie Kirk's death? I mean, it was just so disgusting. It was just so, I think, insensitive to where we are in this moment as a country. And so he was trying to be funny, obviously, and what was also disgusting is that you had people laughing at this so-called joke that obviously fell flat. And Jimmy Kimmel, like so many of these late-night comedians, so-called comedians, they're always about the leftist propaganda. They are always about putting the anti-Trump and the anti-conservative individual, celebrity, politician on air. And it just, you're missing half the country here when you're doing that. Call yourself a Democrat comedian, call yourself a communist comedian, but people don't want to hear from him. I mean, I think that the network made the right choice in just suspending him indefinitely.
How many people do the Democrats have to shoot and then make light of before they get a reputation as like Antifa as a terrorist organization? Now, Sinclair Broadcast Group also commenting on the suspension of Kimmel, saying that it's not enough. Sinclair writing, Sinclair also calls upon Mr. Kimmel to issue a direct apology to the Kirk family. We ask Mr. Kimmel to make a meaningful personal donation to the Kirk family and Turning Point USA, and announcing ABC stations will air a special in remembrance of Charlie Kirk this Friday evening during the Jimmy Kimmel Live time slot. And that is, that's a great gesture and a great thing to do for them.
Folks on the left are saying this is about free speech. It's not about free speech. It's not like Donald Trump picked up the phone and called somebody and said, take this guy off the air. He doesn't have that kind of power in the United States. And I don't believe the stations would listen to him. And I see your reaction, Jason. I'm curious to hear what you have to say in a moment. But I don't think that it is about free speech. I think many are going to try and say it is. But the reality is the ratings were poor. He said consistently ridiculous things and peddled conspiracy theories on air, especially related to the Kirk assassination, things that are horrible. We can have conversations about how we should operate late-night television talk show hosts, but do you think for a moment that these left-wing legacy outlets are sitting around twiddling their thumbs, worried about what Donald Trump is going to say after for over a decade, while he was in power, or at least in politics, he had criticized them over and over and over again? I hear people talking about the merger as well. I still don't believe that that was finally the case. They could have just yanked him off the air at some point. Instead, this was directly pointing to the Kirk comments, which I think were reprehensible.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.